We're signalers. We're very proud.
Soldiers showing how they lay out battle plans, and the Prime Minister poring over battle plans, ready with one of his own to bring a major boost to Canada's defence spending.
Canada will achieve NATO's 2% of GDP target this year, half a decade ahead of schedule.
Canada's inability or unwillingness to meet the NATO spending target has long been a source of irritation for allies. That could change with a cash injection of more than $9 billion into national defense this year, allowing the military to lay the foundation to recruit more people, buy new equipment, and rebuild the country's defense industry. Necessary, Mark Carney says, because of a shift in the world order and Canada's changing relationship with the United States.
The United States is beginning to monetize its hegemony, charging for access to its markets and reducing its relative contribution to our collective security. Middle powers must compete for interests and attention, knowing that if they're not at the table, they're on the menu.
To reach 2% of GDP, total federal government defense spending at D&D and in other departments will rise from an estimated $53.4 billion to $62.7 billion. And this is happening as allies are set to move the goalposts at the upcoming NATO summit, asking members to invest up to 5% of their GDP in defense and defense infrastructure. This defense expert says D&D has in the past had trouble spending what the federal government gives it.
If bureaucracy proceeds like normal, the way it has been over the past decade and a bit, this money is unlikely to be spent. I'm going to have to actually see concrete change across the Canadian government.
Carney has said he won't increase taxes to pay for the bigger defense budget. Conservatives want to know how he'll pay for it.
All of this will require a budget that not only puts this money forward, clearly identifies where it comes from, but cuts waste and bureaucracy.
The last time Canada spent 2% of its GDP on defense was in the late 1980s, in the closing chapter of the Cold War.
And Murray, while it's been, obviously decades since we've seen spending like this, the timing of this announcement, I think, obviously no coincidence.
Yes, you're right, Adrienne. We got the NATO summit coming up at the end of the month in the Netherlands, and the whole issue of defense spending hijacked Canada's agenda at the last NATO summit in Washington, and they didn't want to repeat. Now, what's interesting, when you listen to federal officials describe the plans, essentially Canada is now recreating some of its Cold War institutional architecture.
All right, that is Murray Brewster in Ottawa. Thank you.
You're welcome.